Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In our last video, we discussed some important topics related to how to set up your Unity, like how to set up the layouts of your Unity editor. Then we also mentioned like how to add the material of some object, like we chose the cube and we created the cube material over here, and then we assign the material onto the cube. So in our last video, we also mentioned like we can assign like normal map, height maps, and all those stuff onto the object over here. Now I do not have any normal map or height map with me right now, but you can definitely do that. So how can you do that? In one way, you can just simply create some asset by your own, and then you just import it into the Unity editor as a FBX file. So in one way, you can use Blender. So here I am using Blender 4.1, and then you can create different type of shapes or assets or whatever you want, and then you can assign some texture on it, normal maps and all those stuff onto the Blender file, and then make sure to export this as a FBX file over here, because Unity kind of wants to use the FBX file. You can definitely use the other files like DAE or OBJ file, but if you want to do that, you have to export the textures file separately, and then you also need to put it in your Unity file. Sometimes it works, sometimes it may not work, but I found that if you use FBX file by like using all the textures and all those stuff at the same time, it works properly on the Unity file. Okay, now let's say you are not familiar with Blender like I am. So for you guys, there are many assets already available online. So let me show you. If you go to Unity and then you go to Window, there is a option called Asset Store. So this is Unity's official asset store. If you click on it, it will take you to this website, but sometimes it works, sometimes may not work. For me, it is not working right now. So instead of using that, I can simply write Asset Store, and then it will ask you to use your email ID. So remember, like when you install your Unity Hub, you have to sign in with your Unity email ID, whatever you provided. So after I gave my Unity ID to the specified space, I can go to the Unity Asset Store website. Now over here, there are different assets already. As you can see, like you can go for 3D assets, 2D asset, and audio, AI, whatever you like. And some assets have money associated with them, and some assets are completely free. So let's start with terrains. Okay, and here the price tab, if you click on it and then choose free, then only the free assets will be shown to you. Okay, so now you just simply go to choose any of the assets over here. Like let's say this asset, I want to download it, so I click on it and then go to add. So add to Unity. So I already downloaded this package, so that's why it is showing open in Unity. So in case of you, it will be like add to Unity or add assets, some options like that. If you then once you do that, you will see open in Unity option, just like me. Once you click on that, either it will directly take you to the Unity, or it can give you some dialog box like, do you really want to open it? And then you say yes. Then you can just come to Unity, and then over here you will see the package. Okay, now a nice part of Unity is if you go to package manager, and in the last video we have shown you like how to put the package manager on the tab. If you have not seen the last video, please go ahead and see that, so that you can understand how I put the package manager over here instead of going to window and package manager. Okay, now in this drop down menu, if you click on this drop down menu, now this my assets, if you click on that, you will see all the assets that I have downloaded from Asset Store will be shown up over here under packages, my assets. Okay, so over here I have downloaded like many assets, and if I click all of them, so it will show you all of the assets that I have downloaded before. Some of them are paid, majority of them are free assets. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to download this package, so outdoor ground texture. So you can go ahead and then search for this package if you have not searched before, and then that is a free package. Okay, if you are following this tutorial, we can just simply import and download it. So I have downloaded this package before, so that's why there is this option called import and re-download. If you have not downloaded this package before, you will only see the download option over here. Once it is downloaded, you can just simply click on import, and then you will see this dialog box, and I want to import all the files associated in this package. So I click on import. Okay, so I have installed the package, and then as you can see, the package is showing inside my assets folder. So if I go to scene, and then let's say I am going to change the material of this cube. Okay, so I click on cube over here, and then right now the cube material is showing up over here. Okay, so now instead of just simply giving a color and change the metallic property of that material, what I want to do is like I want to give a texture to the cube. Okay, how can I do that? So we downloaded the asset and install the asset in our project. Okay, so I expand it, and then in the asset I go ahead and then choose any of the ground texture. Let's say I want to assign this material. How do I know this material? Because it has this sign. Remember, in our materials folder, the material has this particular sign, and that's how you know this is a material. Okay, now this material has all these properties like the normal map, metallic map, height map, diffuse, the lighting condition, ambient occlusion, all those stuff. So you need all those information for this material to work. Okay, so if I click on that, now you see this pink color. If I just simply add this ground material onto the cube, you will see the cube becomes pink. If you see this pink color, okay, so that means your material is not working properly. Okay, why is that? So in Unity, all the assets were rendered before was based on built-in render pipeline. So remember, when we first created our project, by default Unity was giving this option for us, the 3D built-in render pipeline, right? So previously Unity used to use this built-in render pipeline to render all the assets and all the textures in their game. Okay, but slowly in Unity it's starting to render all the assets in the current Unity version and all the future Unity version using this Unity 3D render pipeline. Okay, so that's why we created our project based on this render pipeline. Okay, and in future Unity will not support this built-in render pipeline. They will only support the Unity 3D render pipeline and the high definition pipeline in future. Okay, so that's why whenever you download any asset from the asset store, it is more likely that they will be supporting the built-in render pipeline, not the Unity 3D render pipeline. But the good part is you can update your 3D render pipeline to the current version. How to do that? So if you see this pink option over here, just select the material that you want to update, and then go to edit, and then go to rendering, materials, and convert selected built-in render pipeline to URP. Click on that and it will give you a dialog box. Click on proceed, and then you see now the texture is showing up. Okay, now if you have multiple texture files just like I have right now, so you have see there are multiple texture file or material, so you just expand all of them. So for now I can just show you 3 of them, 1, 2 and 3. If you just simply drag this thing a little bit upwards, those materials that are already supporting the URP, they will show you kind of like in this way, like not pinkish color. But those materials that are not supporting the URP currently, they will show up in this particular pink color. Okay, so I can understand that ground 4 is showing this white color, so that means ground 4 is fine. So I just simply uncheck it, and then instead of choosing ground 4 and go with ground 5, and then you see all these materials are pink color. So I go to edit, rendering, materials, convert, proceed, and then you can see that the materials are properly assigned with the textures. Okay, so now if I go to cube, Now I can see the texture is rendered properly. Now you can also see that it is a kind of like a rough surface. How to get that? So by default, all the normal maps, the height maps, the occlusion maps are assigned to this particular material, and that's why it is looking very nice on this cube. Now, as I said, the ground 1 material is already set up with the normal map, height map, base map, occlusion map properly, because it comes with these maps, right? Now, let's say I have this ground 1 material, but I want to add the ground 2 normal. Okay, so how can I do that? So I can just simply drag and drop it and then put it onto the normal map. Okay, and then you can see that the texture has changed. If you also want to change the height map, go to the height map and then change the height map. Okay, and then occlusion like that. Okay, so that's how you assign the normal maps, height maps, occlusion map, and all the metallic maps with the material. Now, not always the texture will show up properly on the cube. This cube looks nice. The texture that we have assigned to the cube looks nice. But let's say we want to assign the texture on the plane. Okay. So now the scale of the plane is 111. Okay. So for other objects like 3D objects, cube, sphere, 111 scale means the length, height, and width are basically 1 meters. Okay, the exception is plane. Okay, so the plane, whenever you see the scale of the plane is 111, so that means the edge of the sides of the plane are 10 meters. Okay, how can I say that? You see these big lines here on the grid in the scene window, so those are 10 meters, and you see the small lines. If I scroll out down a little bit more, you see the small lines here, these are the 1 meter squares. So if you count this 1 meters from one big grid line to the another big grid line, you will find 10 of the small grid lines. So 1 square, 2 square, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 squares are there in the big grid lines here, right? So that means if you zoom out, these big grid lines are 10 meters, and then if you just put the simple plane into the big grid line, you will see it is perfectly fitting a 10-meter block. Okay, so that's what I want to say here. The scale of the plane, even though it says 111, by default the edge of the plane is 10 meters. So now, as you can understand, if I want to make the plane bigger, so if I make the plane to 10, 10, 10, so that means the edge of the plane will become 10 into 10, so that means 100 meters, right? It's just multiplying. Okay, so I am putting the plane back to its 0, 0, 0 position, but the edge of the plane has become 100 meters. Okay, now the plane has become large right now. Now if I want to just add a material onto it, now you will see it's look huge. Okay, how can I say that? Let's go to the XR origin, take it a little bit upwards, so give it is like 1.8 meters, which is kind of like the height of normal person. And then if I rotate the camera a little bit to the ground, you will see the texture looks very pixelated, right? Because it is expanded the whole region of the plane. Okay, that is problem. What we want is, we do not want this pixelated texture, right? How to get rid of that? So you click on plane, you expand the recently added material onto the plane, and then go over here and search for tiling here in the surface inputs option. By default it says 4, but we know that the distance of the edge is of 100 meters, right? So here the 10 means 100 meters. So we go to here and click 100, and then now you see how nicely it looks, right? So now the texture over here looks very nice, and then it's not pixelated, and then it feels good. Okay, it feels right. Okay, now you can definitely play with the tilings. Okay, so tiling means this base map will be put on each of the 1 meter block. Okay, so you see, if you go a little bit bigger, so each block will be consisting of this texture. Okay, and that's why you can see a little bit pattern on the whole plane. Okay, now I want to show you another important thing, that is like, let's say you want to install this project, the whole project that we are currently working on, including the asset textures that we have downloaded, the materials and all those stuff, to a different computer. Okay, so one thing you can surely do is like, you just go over here and then in my case the GitHub folder, and this is the project that I am currently working on. You can copy paste it to a USB drive and then open it in a different computer, or you can just upload it to GitHub and then download it from website to a different computer, or you can use another technique that I am going to show you now. So you click on the assets in the project folder, go to asset and then click on export package. Okay, that will, by default, it will select all the packages and all the assets that is currently there in your package, and then you click on export, and then by default it will select your project. Okay, and then you can give a name like package, and then you just save it, and then it will take some time to export the package. So that will give you a single package file, okay, which you can just simply copy paste to your USB drive, go to your new computer, and then you can just simply open the package in your other computer, and then you can just get the whole project or a part of the project that you want into that computer. So here is the package. Now I would just want to show you how to import that package. So again, you go to assets, instead of exporting package you go to import package, custom package, and then from there you just go to the directory where your package is located, and then if you choose it package, you click on open, and then it will just open it. Okay, and then you can import those packages to that computer. Okay, lastly, if you do not want to download assets from the asset store, you still have some other options. So let's go to Sketchfab. So this is also a nice website. Okay, you just log in if you already have a account. There are tons of assets available similar to asset store. Sometimes you need to pay for some assets, or you can search for free assets also. Okay, also I want to show you another website called Mixamo by Adobe. Again, if you have a Adobe account, just log in. The best part of the Mixamo website is that you can get some avatars if you want, and then not only that, you can add some cool animations to the avatars also, and then you can directly download the avatar with the animation onto your project. Okay, we will talk about this in more details later on. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I will see you in the next one. Thank you.